The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. 5 minutes past 8 p.m. We're into our second and final hour of the show. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. I am with senior journalist Mr. Andrew Irumba, CEO of TheSpy, and also politician from the Uganda People's Congress, that is Honorable Joseph Ochieno. I can see a couple of messages coming through. Some are on X, and this is Mr. Amana Charles. Comment on Annette Among and how she's... Okay, yes, I think Charles wants to say that Annette Among is growing through the ranks very fast. So she wants us to comment on that. But we shall comment on your query very, very soon. Please keep on sending those messages, comments, queries at the Alternative Uganda, at Digitalk TV, at Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. I'll be reading them subsequently. You had something to say, Mr. Irumba, as we went for the break, but also comment on the question by Mr. Charles, that what do you read in the ascension of Anita Among and how she is being competitive, I think, especially in the politics of the country. She's now vying for vice president, NRM, vice chairperson, sorry, NRM, women. or anything else?
Anita Among, the UPC lady who is a minister in...
No, Anita Among, I think he meant the speaker.
The speaker?
But first, start off with what you had to say.
So the other point, before you bring in another topic about the traffic, have you ever imagined, you, Edgar, you have an appointment in Imbarara, and you're driving at 30 kilometers per hour? Can you imagine that speed? Are you serious? Like, are you going for a serious engagement? The person who is trying to implement that, when he's driving his private car, does he drive that same speed? The police officer who is on the road implementing that order, does he drive the same speed when he's in his own private car? Have you met the convoy of the president? Have you met the convoy of the prime minister? Have you met the convoy of any minister in Uganda? Do they drive that speed? So are you saying that they don't love their lives? They love us more than they love themselves.
And can I just compliment that? Actually, on the major roads, particularly including these European roads that they talk about,
Yes.
if you actually drive at 30 kilometers per hour, the police will pull you down,
They charge
because you're causing basically that's dangerous
Why
driving.
you slow? Yes.
You're basically slowing traffic, but in itself, amidst that, you can cause confusion and cause accidents.
Yeah, I've
They
seen
actually
that.
charge
I've seen
you.
that
Yes.
before.
They charge you.
Where they charged someone because they were so slow.
Yes.
Saying you were supposed to be fast here.
Yes. So, what is the
As you
problem?
conclude.
What's my problem? The problem is this, my brother.
Yes, sir.
That Uganda and Africa, the problem is that we pick what helps us to steal more. Uganda police has gone and only picked an element from the road carnage to where it works for them to pick more money from the Ugandans. They have not addressed the real cause of the accidents. The real cause of the accident is the road network, the state of the road network. Number two, the border borders in CBD Kampala is becoming more than the number of people in Kampala. Government of Uganda has no solution for that. If it was another country, they would have stopped importation of more border borders in Uganda. You cut off the importation and then you control the one. But right now, as we speak, hundreds of border borders
Who
are
imports them? I think there is also a person.
of course, because now they are targeted. They want more money. Because the more border borders you import, the more taxes you get. But they are not taking care of the tragedy the border borders are causing in Kampala.
And the environment.
When they cause the accidents in Kampala, they say it's reckless driving. They forget to add the contribution that they're adding. Allowing, I was in Rwanda. In Rwanda, my brother, every stage has a specific number of border borders.
Yes.
You can't just buy a border border and say, I'm going to work from here. No. There is a process, registration process. They'll even know this is Edgar, his number plate is this, his jacket, his helmet is number this. The camera is watching you. If you rob from your passenger, they will get you in 5 seconds. Because the camera is watching you. Now here they have said the camera is watching you to penalize you. But when you are robbed, when a border man robs his passenger, that camera is blind. Are you aware?
I have heard of those
Are you aware?
scenarios.
So
Yes.
this is stupidity.
As you conclude, sir.
I have concluded
Thank you
with
so much.
stupidity.
Okay. Mr. Ochieno, I want you to comment on the question of Charles as we enter the state of the nation. Is there something you see in the rise or the ascension of Speaker Anita Among, especially in the politics of the country?
No, there's nothing unusual. If who's Museven's prime minister?
No, Nabanja?
Yeah. Did you know her 5 years ago?
She was another DC. I knew
I
her.
think I knew her.
She was another DC.
Have you seen her dance?
There's a mobilizer of NRM too.
Have you danced?
That is humor.
Do you know the role of a prime minister? So these are Museven's Fisher people. Yeah. So now, do you know who my Mr. Speaker is? The Speaker of Parliament between 1980 and 85, when the Museven was busy breaking people's necks with the Kagame, by the way, and others, yeah, in Luweero, is Francis Butagira. A Munyankole man. Fantastic gentleman. oh, in Mzee, I still respect you. The Mr. Speaker, Francis Buttigieg, those are quality, those are leaders, those are nationalists.
Don't you see
Whatever is
that
happening around Museven
the
is saying
speaker
that
is gathering a lot of, one would say, power, resources, and she's growing through the ranks that fast. I had her even on Saturday saying she's not going to come back as the Speaker of Parliament.
Yeah.
And that this is her last term. After the next term, she won't be coming back. So one would say she's ascending. She's even the money woman. I saw her donating $1 billion for a cancer run. I saw her donating 100 million to bury someone. So one would say she's wielding a lot of influence.
I have told you this system is a strange system. It's a system from the bush. They just behave like bush business.
Okay.
You know, no, because I don't know how a speaker in a normal democracy would have an envelope. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. So, no, but Anita is a fantastic lady. She's done very well for herself. And the rise in NRA is a scramble for people to be near Mr. Muhoozi. The other time she hosted Mr. Muhoozi, Museveni's son. So,
General.
yeah, so if Mr. Muhoozi, the army commander, is Lord in a meeting for my friend who both Minister for Defense, General Muhoozi is Lord for Anita Mongi, then you know what's happening in NRA is there's nothing logical about it.
Okay.
That's basically the point I'm trying to make. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm not quite sure whether giving it a lot of airtime is anything but simply saying that no, this country is in anarchy.
Of Mr. Wamala. Comrade, is there something you see in that ascension?
I have no comment on the topic of AAA. I would rather switch to the State of the Nation address.
Okay, I would ask why don't you have a comment on Antamo?
Because I have no comment.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hope because you have no comment. Some people believe maybe she has influence.
On
the show.
On the show.
Okay, so maybe there's influence on the show.
No.
She has influence on the show.
Maybe there's
For me,
influence on the show.
I'd rather focus on really.
It's seldom that you don't comment on such issues, but it's okay. Let's
because
continue.
they realize the State of the Nation address is more important to discuss.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I had given you a minute or two. You're still watching the Hotline Show. Let's start with the state of the nation. Comrade Irumba, we shall continue the conversation off air. I'll talk about a couple of things. Mr. Museven paints a rather rosy picture, as I told you earlier on. First of all, many things, there's a lot of development here and there. I'm going to start by where he even started from. As the president, he talked about Uganda's GDP, that is going to more than double from 158 to 158 billion by 2030. Capitalization of Uganda Development Bank is at 1.5 trillion. He talks about how parish development model has helped in poverty alleviation. A couple of, he says peace. In fact, that was the first thing he started on, that there is peace, security, and regional stability in this country. You can drive border to border. He says there's a few influxes, some few spillovers, that's the word he used, from Congo and South Sudan. Then Mr. Museven continues and paints a picture of how the economy has expanded from 1986 to date, starting at 3 billion in 1986. Now it's close to 45 billion. He talks about how that has been done under the leadership of the National Resistance Movement. Then the exports, they grew by 26%. Some people who have been looking down at us, he talked about the inflation, how the Ugandan currency has been performing. It's in fact the best performing currency over the year of 2024. That is on record. And IMF also confirmed that Uganda is the 7th fastest growing economy in the world. In fact, Mr. Museven was trying to jubilate on that note, saying, you always say I'm the one who says these things now. It's the IMF who's saying it. He talks about foreign direct investment over the last 12 months. Yeah. Yes, it has grown tremendously, I think by 5%. He talks about domestic revenue mobilization and some of the efforts that they are putting in place. to make sure that we gain more money as a country, economic diversification. In fact, when we start talking about these things, it takes rather a bit of time, and President Museven says we should talk about some of these achievements because we always downplay the achievements and exaggerate the problems that we are having, from an economy that had only 3 C's and 3 T's to an economy that has expanded now. He talks of coffee and copper. And cotton, yes. Then tea, tourism and tobacco. Yes, he talks about manufacturing, and he talks about a lot of things. In fact, the dams that he has done, from when he found 1, there are now 4. There's a lot of good things here. Mr. Museven is doing rather a tremendous job. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Ochieno. What do you think about these very good statistics?
Great achievements.
Great achievements, as I said.
The achievements are terrible.
No, Museven is a State of the Nation address record in terms of achievements. They're terrible. I start. 1. Currency.
Yeah.
Granted 7th best performing economy, currency.
Yes.
Within 2 years of NRA coming to power, meaning within 2 years, 1987, there was a currency conversion. Yeah. Lest you forget, because I know you were not yet born. So in 1987, 2 years after NRA came, these guys devalued our shilling, which was doing very well. They devalued the shilling and cut off 2 zeros. After they cut off 2 zeros, they took away 30%, what they called tax, windfall tax, tax. Nobody until today, and you're a journalist, and there may be some journalists watching us, try and establish where the 30% went. So this currency we are talking about today, that is how NRM mutilated it in 1987. So when we also talk about, therefore, the fact that we found this economy at 3 billion US at the time, and today is 45 billion, put that into account. Number 2, the US of that time quantified, and I hope there are some economists watching, because I don't know what economics Museven studied in Dar es Salaam. I still question that. Contextualize it to what the 3 billion US was doing at the time in terms of weight, and map it onto today. And then you see how terrible.
If you were to turn the 3 billion, then how much would it be now? That's what you're trying
terrible,
to say.
yes, terrible. 15 times, terrible, number 1. Number 2, this guy boasts about 66% economic growth, as if it's from heaven. No, it's terrible. The economy in 1966-67 was growing at 66%. You know what? In 1983, we had 29.6% under UPC government. 1983, and these bandits were busy throwing bombs in Kampala and in Luwero, and we're busy rehabilitating the economy. Post Idi Amin, 29.6. Do the average, regardless from 1986. What would you have? Trace our economy from 1962 at independence, even with the mess of Idi Amin, and then bring it up to 1985 when Museven and their friends, dubious friends in DP, overthrew the government. And then you contextualize performance of the economy. Number 3, the so-called 3 C's and 3 T's. Because the guys preaching to Chankwanzi audience, that has been terrorized mentally, psychologically. No, those 3 C's and 3 T's cannot be dismissed.
Nobody has dismissed them.
Okay, I'm giving context.
They have not
Tourism
them.
Was supposed to...
But isn't it a fact that the economy has expanded?
I am explaining to you. Tourism was supposed to be taking over from coffee, as the number 1, forex earner. And look at global economies. Look at the Singapores. Look at many of these global spaces, countries, including that don't have natural resources like gas and oil and things like that, how they perform. That is how strategic we were. Coffee, as it was at the time, the coffee at the time and the coffee today, what did our coffee do? Our coffee extended rail networks from Soroti, took it to Lira, took it to Gulu, took it to Pakwach, built Pakwach Bridge, and built roads, including Kampala, I think from Masaka to Mbarara to Kabale, tarmac, roads. And the NRA, not dates, because I'm going to come into that in terms of how much we owe. borrowed money for these dubious guys who drive down the road. Basically, we say the economy is growing, but you don't know where money is going. Okay? Then go into so-called industries. The shirt I'm putting on is Marks and Spencer's shirt. Marks and Spencer's is among the premier fabric stores in the UK, just as it was CNA at the time. We used to export complete finished products, top quality, to Marks and Spencer's, from Nightingale in Ginger and from ATM in Bali. From our cotton, finished products, our economy, finished products. Today, where is it? Coffee, the Bugolovi coffee plant, which we needed only to transfer it from there to make sure they're so finished that the packages of coffee that I make.
I want you to dispute what he's saying, because if he is also going to pull let me first finish. If he's going to pull the achievements like you're trying to pull them, I think Mr. Museven would win, because when you look at the industries that you're talking about, he has done the same. When you talk about the roads, he has done more. What I'm trying to say is that it's not a question of achievements, really. For me, I want you to question what he's saying. Isn't it true?
No, the guy...
that the lifespan by then was 43 years. Now he's at 63. Do you dispute that?
I think Andrew will be very concerned that you pick and choose. The guy gave a State of the Nation address that we pay him for, by the way, and he's been there for 40 years. Museven has been there for 40 years, uninterrupted. And he's paid hugely. By the way, his family earns $3 billion every day. Okay? So... Well, he came and...
$3 billion US dollars?
No, sorry. I beg your pardon. 3 billion Uganda shillings, I beg your pardon, per day, which they spend. My money, your money. So he
But he has shown you the things he has done.
That's correct. And I'm saying, he gave the State of the Nation address, for heaven's sake. And you're asking me my opinion. And I'm helping to give you a contextual critique.
But you're not critiquing what he said. Rather, you are bringing what would have been, or I would call them the lost glories.
At an opportune time, I think I'll help you to go to a research methods class because it would help you contextualize what I'm trying to do. To help Ugandans, I'm helping Ugandans break into pieces Mr. Museven's so-called State of the Nation address. And that's what I'm trying to do. Now, if you're not getting it, allow me to try and continue with this. I hope some of your other viewers will.
I'm getting it.
Yes. So in others, so that's the context. So the coffee plant we have in Bugolobi, was the second best after one in Brazil. Today we are fighting figures. My point is, there is nothing spectacular in the State of the Nation address, that you would not expect after 40 years. That's what I'm saying. Now you talk about roads. I'm trying to tell you that, well, Museven found railways and they're dead. Museven found planes and they're dead. Museven found buses and they're dead. And Museven found waterways and they're dead. And Museven found banks and they're dead. And Museven found industries and they're dead. Kampala industrial area, is it an industrial area to you? Did you know Ginger was our official industrial center? So I'm giving you context. So no, we can glorify these things, but the fine thing after 40 years. Now granted, we are not South Sudan, like sometimes they want to present it. And certainly granted, we are not like Libya, But Museven did not find a foundation like the Bush. He found a functioning Ugandan economy. And by the way,
so what is this fastest growing economy? You try to paint it for me. What do they mean? Does the IMF mean that Uganda is one of the fastest growing?
In terms of figures, yes. In terms of figures, yes, and I don't dispute it. But I'm also trying to tell you that a fast growing economy does not address the micro issues, including the fact that somebody is dying today.
Let's come back on that
No,
issue.
does it mean that there's no hospital in Loboa? Or does it mean that accidents are happening in Kampala? No, does it mean this means the fact that Kampala is the most...
Do those challenges undermine the achievements that Mr. Museven has made? But let me first pose you there. Mr. Irumba, what do you make of the State of the Nation?
First of all, my brother, I was very good in English. When you say State of the Nation address, you are meaning our current state
reality,
now.
Yeah.
When you say, give me the state of this studio right now, if you ask me to give you a state of this studio where we are, I would say there are 2 ladies and 3 men. There are 4 black chairs. I will count them. as it is right now, real time state of this studio. When you go to His Excellency the President's State of the Nation address, he's telling you what he did yesteryears and what it was yesteryears compared to what he did yesteryears. Then he's also casting you into the future, what he wants to do. We are talking about right now. Tell us what you've done.
And right now he's telling you, I have the best performing currency in Africa right now.
So now,
I have the 7th fastest growing economy in Africa right now. Right now, Irumba has been immunized. He can live up to 63 years. Right now.
If you allow me the gratitude,
please continue.
I categorized his arguments into 5 simple issues: economic growth and public impact. Number 2, aid infrastructure ambitions. Number 3, health, education and reforms. Number 4, public service and corruption. Number 5, security assurance. Number 6, environmental and governance challenges. Those are the 6 I like to critique from his so many pages of SONA. Let's begin with this. Economic growth and the public impact. Uganda's economy grew from 224.9 trillion Uganda shillings, that's US dollar 60.4 billion, marking a 6.7 expansion in financial year 2025-2026. GDP per capita is projected to rise from US dollar 1,259 to US dollar 1,330 next year.
That's upper middle income status.
If you want to know that the country is growing, you don't go by what IMF is telling you from America. Because if you do that, we are going back to colonialism. An American thinks a one Sudiru has 100 billion shillings, but in Uganda, when he's calculating how much money Ugandan people have, he wants to get that 100 billion of Dr. Sudir divided amongst the number of people in Uganda.
Million, yes.
And then he comes and tells you, these people are growing economically.
Yeah.
So if you want to know whether your people are growing economically, first go to the homesteads, each one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Sudir is okay. What about Irumba? What is the daily expense for Irumba? Are you getting me?
Yeah, but just to correct you, is that in the census, those results that are being used were got in the census of 2024 by UBOS. They did not use the word
Comrade,
we are not disputing it.
Don't assume me. I don't believe in this stupid census done by these thieves here.
No, it is your census.
Mine. I'm the one who did it.
No, you Uganda.
Those thieves first of all told you that we have not grown an inch. We have been 45 million people and we are still 45. Is that true? You are a journalist. You believe it? That we are still 45 million people.
They said 46.
So the politics in every aspect of our human life in Uganda is changing everything. These UBO statistics are politics being played on your head. The economics they are showing you here in the State of the Nation address, they are looking at where they are, them, not where we are, we all of us. If you want to know the speed of the average Ugandan in terms of running, and you bring Chiptogei, and say Ugandans are very fast. Now, are you saying my mother is also running like Chiptogei? I want us to be analytical. Mr. Ochieno, for me, I think I didn't qualify to live in Uganda. Most times I find problems living with Ugandans here. Because everything thieves tell them they believe it, yet they know they're thieves.
A friend from
A thief comes and tells you, no, I stole 1,000 shillings, and you trust him.
How do you debunk?
But then from the 1,000 shillings he tells you he has stolen, he has bought a monster car. So I started by questioning, does a monster car cost 1,000 shillings?
Yes.
That is the first angle that they ask you.
Yeah.
So you said you stole 1,000 shillings. But you've bought a monster car last night. So how much is a monster car? A monster car is 500 million shillings. So why did you get it? So the guy giving him these statistics is purely a politician.
Yeah.
And you have to appreciate him that he's able to lie for 40 years. As young as you are believing him.
Yeah.
So
that is
what
not me.
evidence because you're a journalist, you work with evidence. What evidence do you then present to debunk some of the things?
What evidence did
For example, when he tells
what evidence?
When IMF tells you that his currency has been performing,
IMF.
in fact, it is ranked on the African continent, not him. And that's the thing he was saying. That you always say these things. Why don't you dispute what the IMF is saying and saying that this currency is actually performing this way?
Where is the headquarters of IMF and World Bank?
San Francisco.
So do you know our history, Pan-African-wise, with the whites? A white man will give you a report based on his interests. You get it?
But you see,
not based on your interests.
You also have interests when they are helping, then they become partners. When they are not helping, they become white men.
Where have I welcome?
They become then white men.
Tell me you have been with me. Tell me where I have appreciated the white man that he has helped Africa, other than stealing from Africa. A white man steals $1 billion at night, in the darkness. In the morning he comes with CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, Digitalk here, and he says, I am going to donate 100 million worth of boreholes. You cover that. And we say this is a very good man.
Continue with that list.
Number 2, island infrastructure ambitions. Museven reiterated that commercial oil production starts next year, viewed as a major GDP booster. They are saying, in fact, the SGR, road construction, and so on.
Standard gauge railway.
He's saying this year, 2025, they are going to get the first money from the oil. Yeah? Now, you ask yourself, and he's saying, when we get it, we're going to do this. You ask yourself, have you ever gone to these Kingfisher oil wells? Have you ever tried yourself to go there? As a journalist, I tried to go there. It is being guarded by SFC, not normal police officers. SFC. You get it? They tell you what they want you to consume. But the actual fact is, this cruise oil could even have been started leaving this country some years ago. But they tell you...
I could agree with you because I was seeing times, I think in financial 2023, where we exporting oil, and I was saying, where is this oil coming from?
So Edgar, when we exported, where did that money go? And was it accounted for in the financial year of that year? Did you hear Kaseja reading it? But we exported. And where did we export? At what price? What was the interest? They tell you are taking for testing.
There we did not know.
So, the politics around every aspect of livelihood in Uganda is the problem. So I don't agree. You can
also comment on gold being one of our biggest exports. Gold. I was surprised that we export.
Yeah, man. I've been investigating.
And it's 99.9.
I've been investigating gold deals in Uganda. Just one of the storekeepers were shot dead the other day, and the one who suspected to have shot them, when he was arrested the other day and taken to military police, Makindi, the general said, you release him.
Oh, that one, yes.
Yeah. Now, you have been saying, he has been saying that you're exporting peace in Congo. No, they are going to steal in Congo.
Yeah.
Where are the gold mines in Uganda that can enable you to be one of the biggest exporters of gold? Where are they?
Your biggest export?
Hey, where? And why is Congo? Why are you exporting more than Congo? Yet Congo is the world. My brother. My brother.
What are we not seeing?
I've been investigating these oil deals, the gold deals and gold scandals. All of them end at somebody at a general's doorstep. At a general's doorstep. In fact, people fear to write about them, but there's a lot. If you went in, so the healthcare I hear here, broad healthcare modernization. 225 healthcare tools upgraded healthcare center 3s, plus operationalization of Mulago super specialized hospital and Lubowa hospital. Can you imagine? Yeah, they are not ashamed to mention Lubowa. A thief called Pinetti came here and said, I am an investor. I'm going to help you, Uganda. We said, thank you very much. She said, now give me land to put for you a specialized hospital. We said, thank you very much, madam. We gave her Lubowa hospital. After getting that, she said, now give me money to construct it.
Even this year, you gave him money. You
Yes,
gave her money.
yes. She's
There's
called
money
an,
allocated
she's called an investor.
in the budget.
She's called an investor. An investor who comes with an empty bag like this. She says, put land here. You put. Now she says, put money here for me to build for you a specialized hospital.
No, but that,
You put. After putting, now she says, you wait, I will call you. Even when we go to supervise under parliament, they said, don't enter here. They look.
no, but I think Mr. Museven exonerated her when she said,
Okay,
Pinetti
very
is
good.
mine.
Yeah, very good, very good. Pinetti is yours, but the money is ours. Pinetti is yours, the money she's taking is ours. Pinetti is yours.
So do you
That's
trust
correct.
him? Do you trust him?
That's correct, given. But the money is
As you
now.
conclude. As
Now.
you conclude.
Now, Cedric Babu has died. You are aware? We buried him the other day.
Yes. On
Do
Saturday.
you know why he died? We didn't have a specialized hospital like Lubowa to transplant his heart. It is Rwanda, our baby, that was groomed from here. A boy who grew up from the refugee camps in Uganda, worked in the intelligence of Uganda. We groomed him, we made him. Then he went to Rwanda. He transformed his country. When Cedric got sick, that's why he had to run. When they failed, a chopper jumped over Uganda. A Ugandan in the chopper from Rwanda jumped over Uganda and dropped in Nairobi because there was no help in Uganda. So he went to Nairobi. They failed to work on it. So they said, you will jump from Nairobi, not back to Uganda, but to India.
Yes.
Can you imagine how many countries you'll have jumped?
Many.
And as he was still looking for money, 1.5 billion, they announced him dead. So why did he die? Because Pinetti, the thief, has stolen the money. Cedric wouldn't have died if that hospital was finished yesterday. Cedric from Rwanda would have been referred to Lubowa here. And the heart transplant is done. And he goes back home.
Okay.
So, now when you say you have improved healthcare, you man, have you been to Mulago Hospital?
I have.
Hey, what is there? Bed of roses.
I cannot call it.
Have
that.
you visited Health Center 2 and 3 that he's boasting of here? Have you been there? Up country. Health Center 2 and 3s. Yeah, let me even give a very clear example. The other day we lost the husband of the whole justice of
Court of Appeal.
Hey,
Justice
Mulia
Gonja.
What was her statement?
Said it's a monument.
But-
Mulago is a monument.
Yeah, but what was she complaining about that she could not get from Mulago? And she was in VIP. She could not get
I'm going
what
to-
is called a cannula
Yes.
to feed. In a VIP section, her husband died because they could not get a cannula to feed him. She died. Now you're saying you have improved. Very good.
Then my question-
Mulia Gonza is very appreciative of your improvement.
And Mulia Gonja
Because she has no
would say
husband now.
She has the capacity maybe to have some financial
Yes.
support to
Eh.
be able to maintain.
Eh.
But if she could decry, then what happens to?
So when you are telling us that you have improved,
Let me come back to you.
improved
Irumba, let me come to
improved from being a vampire to what?
Let me ask Mr. Ochieno. Then Mr. M7 is coming back this week to speak to the country again on Thursday, and that is going to be the budget speech. Why should Mr. M7 come to speak to the nation if
Because it's a ritual. Can you question yourself why you came today putting on a trouser? You must.
then he is the head of state? Then we have to listen to him.
Because
But
it's
then
a
he says
ritual,
it's a
Edgar.
ritual.
Edgar,
Let me
it's
first
a
listen to
ritual.
Ochieno. Let me listen to Ochieno.
You must listen to him because and in fact on that day, it's by UCC mandate, you're a journalist somewhere. UCC says you must put on the State of the Nation address by President. If you don't put on, your license can be cancelled. Are you aware? I hope you're aware.
Let me first. Let me
So it's a ritual to say, man, whether you like it or not, you have to put on the
He's
man.
the head of state.
He is.
Yeah, that's the state of the nation. So then you ask me why
The state of Pagamaya.
Pinetti is Mr. Museven's girl, not so?
So he says.
No, he did not say. He said
You
so.
said
Yeah,
he said he's
it.
mine. You're the one who said he said
So
he's mine.
now tell me, instead of Mr. Museveni coming to talk to Ugandans again and wasting people's airtime, why he shouldn't be arrested?
Arrest who?
Mr. Museveni.
Let me leave these studios.
Continue, sir.
No, because Pinet is effectively a criminal, as you said, isn't it? And this woman has stolen and stolen and stolen. And the guy came and chased them and said, yes, come, do me. Yeah, that is mine. So tell me. And Babu's son has died?
I had the 6 points, but you have allowed me only to analyze
because
3.
of time.
That Babu's son has died. Mlegonja's husband has died. Sudiri's son, although we also give them monies in billions in an unexplained way, also has died on the road, and we're talking roads here. And I've told you about the other 6-year-old child in Nagongara who still continues to haunt me, who died at 6 because of cerebral malaria. And those other many people who've died today. So tell me that we shouldn't be arresting these people. Tell me. So that statement was an insult to the people of Uganda, and like Mr. Irumba said, you know, Comrade Irumba, the Pan-Africanists. If you list Mr. Museveni's thing, and you list what I know we found at independence, and you list what we know that the post-independence government managed to do, that we built health facilities in every sub-country across the country, and we built hospitals across this country, and we equipped them, and we staffed them, and we stocked them, and we enabled them, to the extent that even when the imperialists were working with some dubious conservative chauvinists in Uganda to assassinate Dr. Bote in 1969, the guy was treated here at Mulago. Yeah?
Yes.
And Milton Bote's sons, the top 3, you know, Tony, a fantastic friend of mine, his brother Eddie, the bishop, then the third one, Jimmy, who now dances once in a while with Mr. Museveni, all of them were born here, Mulago Hospital. And you know, for Museveni, we have to airlift him to their grandchildren to go and give birth in the colonial imperialist Europe, which is imperialist for them when it's convenient. No, there is something criminal happening in this country. And these guys are definitely in charge. No, these guys are coming to laugh at us. No, State of the Nation address should not really, well, Museveni's constitutional people.
Museveni was saying that Mutereza Karuru in some regions organized that vote. So, whereas you're saying these worse things, the man looks like he's gearing up for another term, which according to some of the circumstances we see, feels like he's going to take it easy.
No, it's a formality. It's a formality because, I mean, obviously, if anybody who is a potential threat has got to go to the basement, and anybody who is a potential threat must land Runyankore whether they like it or not, and if anybody is a potential threat must face what what people faced in Kawempe, what do we have? People have got to wait for Bwana Jesus. So since Mr. Museveni's daughter allegedly, you know, is religious and does Christ, and I hope she does my Bible. I hope she does has conversation with Jesus, and I hope Jesus listens. And so one of these days, maybe they retire as a family, so that Uganda can begin from somewhere to rebuild a foundation. All of us to build a foundation in reconciliation, you know, and in forgiving and forgetting is very difficult. It's very difficult to get when people's friends, people's heads have been cut off in Ruero. You know, very difficult. You know, but we forgive and then we reconcile and we build foundation for which people like you, Edgar, and then the fantastic camera lady and people in your background who are predominantly young Ugandans, able to take up this country. So this country can also grow like Rwanda, but not necessarily in a ruthless way, but can also grow like Singapore, the way Singapore grew under UPC administration, because we had power then. We did excellent things for this country. And so that it is possible that when it comes to budget speeches, that budget speeches will not show budget deficits that we cannot explain. That budget speeches will not show priorities for defense, which defense is for going to brutalize Congolese, brutalize Sudanese, brutalize Somalis on behalf of Anglo-America, and we claim we are Pan-Africanists. That budget speech will show that there is a sufficient investment in education, investment in health, investment in infrastructure, investment in agriculture, and investment in today in technology, and investment in the environment, and that we prioritize it that way. And so that also investment in security-related services is much more about policing, community policing, and responsible policing, rather than serving an army which is now a personal family army, which army the commander is now the official head of diplomatic relations when it comes to relations with Germany.
Yeah, he expelled them. There is that new roads that should be constructed in this particular new campaign. There is the Uru Road and Bridge. There is 69 kilometers of Katini-Ochieno Road, 105 kilometers Kienjojo, Kihura, Bwizi, Rwamwanja, Kahunge, and Mpara, Iganga, Bulope, Kamuli. That's 56 kilometers. 127 Bulamuti, Kamuli Bukungu. Then there are other roads that shall be just maintained here. There is Liantonde, Lumbuga, Rakai. There is Kampala Jinja Highway to be improved. Busunju, Kiboga, Mitiana, Mubende. It looks like
no Nagongera Road.
No, but there is no Nagongera.
Unfortunately, no.
But there are some roads in the eastern part. Let me come to you, Irumba. What do you comment on these plans? But also, this gentleman seems like he is campaigning. He said, Mitiana, Akalumkatereze. And in those areas, if you looked at them, I think there was a bit of inconsistent service delivery. And say, Mutereza Kalulu. So this gentleman is gearing up.
Because what his meaning is, his minister, my friend Julius Nabakova, lost an election to a NUP candidate, Joyce Bagala. You get it?
Yes.
Then there is this Cantagas man,
Zake.
Zake.
Yes.
And most of the district leaders are also opposition people.
Yes, yes.
So there, he believes Akaruru Bakatereze. He believes it. However, the people he's talking to, right from Mitiana to Mubende, the road is impassable. I passed that road.
Yeah, Mubende road is very bad, yes.
Now, the people you're talking to, for the last 40 years, they are going through such an impassable road. But you're telling them, Akaruru Makatereze. He's not looking at Kutereza's side. He's looking at Mwemwe Tereze. Now, this takes me to the stupid politics of Uganda. Because I have told you time and again that in Uganda and Africa at large, we are not doing politics. We are doing politics. Now, politics is a game. Politics is supposed to be a service to the people. You're supposed to be leading the people. Now, when you find a system that only looks into itself, then that's not politics, that's politics. So, His Excellency the President is leading a government that is looking inward. You get it? They are looking inward, not outward.
What do you mean by inward?
They are selfish in their way of doing things. They are selfish.
Okay.
They don't believe that they owe us. They believe that we owe them. That's why the President comes and tells you, Akaruru Mukatereze. For him, he sees nothing wrong with himself. Why? Yeah. So they believe that we owe them. And at one time also, during one of his speeches, he said, you people are suffering because you sent me an opposition member.
Yes.
Exactly.
Me, I don't see him. Me, I don't see him. If you're a father of a family, whether yesterday I agreed with you in opinion or not, I still deserve food in that family. I still deserve medical care.
We may disagree.
I still deserve education. You get? And moreover now, in this family called Uganda, even the man I'm asking you to provide me with food and infrastructure is not even yours. You're collecting it from me and him and the other one. Yeah. Because in the family, you say, Irumba is making his own money. Maybe he's at liberty to give you food or not because it's his money. If he says, I don't have, what will you do? He has not made money. But in this case, even the man I'm saying, please give us a road is mine. The difference is that you have collected it from me. Yeah,
I
it is mine.
entrusted you with my money.
Yeah. So we must demand for more.
It's been 40 years.
And now for me, I don't believe that Uganda in particular needs, he will forgive me, he's my elder. But I don't believe that Uganda really needs political parties. No, we need the service delivery. Ban all these political parties, including his, give us services. rule until you die. Because after all, even when they are there, and the Tamils are there, you're going to rule till you die. So why should we hate? Just come straight and rule till you die. When you die, put another one. For me, it will be focused. I should know right from childhood that because I was not born in this royal family, I will never be king.
So you're meaning we are not
I will never be king. The people, the British, the British, Mr. Edgar, if you are not born in the royal family, it's outright that you will never be president of that country, Britain. Right from childhood, you know that the only people allowed to lead are those from the royal family. So should it be. So be it.
Okay.
So other than you coming here to confuse me that, by the way, Irumba you can also be a president. So are you sure? Okay, let us participate. Then you break my knees. Then you build more basement. To do what? To curtail me from participating. But yesterday you told me I am free to participate. Now I'm coming to participate without knees. Hey, why don't you remove that provision? Remove it. Okay. First of all, how much do you invest in this?
As you conclude.
How much you invest a lot of money in this foolery. I call it foolery. We spend a lot of time. Somebody like Bobo has already convinced his family that my wife one time you will be first lady. Yet the system.
No, he's even preparing for it.
Exactly. Yet the system already knows that for you to be the president of Uganda is equivalent to someone writing on water. You can never write on water. It's as hard as that.
So what are these politicians telling?
They should. Let's be straightforward.
Because we are going in an election.
Yeah.
People are gathering.
We are going to waste hundreds of billions of money. We are going to lose hundreds of lives. We are going to put the country on tension. Right from right now, when we're going to July, August, the country will be on tension. Up to next year, around February. You are going to see more of tear gas canisters being... Right now, the supplier of tear gas canisters is preparing his invoice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your parting shots, Mr. Ochieno Joseph, as we conclude.
No, I really hope that in future that some of these State of the Nation addresses look at people's dailies, and that in these conversations when we come, it's very much about living wages, it's about interest rates, it's about employment, it's about possibilities for us to be able to access basic services like health and education. And I keep repeating those because I think one of the challenges facing the majority of Ugandans is that people don't know that there was better. People don't know that it's actually normal to go to a health facility and be seen by a doctor or a senior medical officer and get prescriptions and go and get drugs and go home.
Yes.
And that, in any case, that is your money. Nobody's doing you a service. I mean, doing you a favor. It happened in my lifetime as a youngster in this country. And people don't expect that it's possible to go to an ordinary St. Joseph's Nagonga Primary School and be amongst the best in the country. I was one of them. And it's to go amongst the best schools in the country. I was amongst them. And to go to Makerere University and study quote for free, meaning that your parents don't have to pay that money. I was one of those ones. And to be paid fees, paid money, you know, as student allowances. I was one of them. And to make sure that from there there's a guarantee for jobs. And even then as a university student...
So these things once happened.
Yes, that even as a university student, you know, when you come from Fort Portal, you know, that you get travel allowance to take you to Fort Portal, whether or not Ugandans spend time with Ochieno in Jinja or not. It happened in my time. And all those are monies that our parents pay through taxation. Our founding parents worked through and made sure they're stocked in terms of savings as a nation state. That ever happened in this country. And I'm saying, that should happen. Today is not happening. And I'm saying, unless the young Ugandans realize that they've been that badly shortchanged, they will not seek to claim. I think Ugandans need to work extremely hard to seek to claim back their country. Not for UPC, not for Ochieno, not for anybody else, and certainly not from the M7'S family. They've had enough of it for 40 years. Okay. They should be able to claim so for themselves and children's children.
So at least there was a bliss before. And Ugandans should dream.
And Uganda is possible. Okay. A better Uganda is possible, yes.
Mr. Andrew Irumba, your parting shots, sir.
I want to concur with him. I have nothing useful to add. Uganda belongs to the 50 million Ugandans, not the 45 as they are lying to you. we deserve equal treatment. If you feel that we don't deserve, we should be straightforward. You see, in America, Mr. Edgar, there are two parliaments. For the stupid poor and for the rich ones. In America, they come and tell you there is democracy. If there is democracy, you believe that we are all equal. Why have you created two parliaments? That the poor, you first vote, have 3 choices, then send to us to pick one. But then you come to Africa and say, no, all of you are equal. A drunkard, stupid man who slept in the bar and in the morning wakes up and goes to the line to vote, his vote is as powerful as me, Irumba, who is sober on the line. That's what they teach you. When they go to America, you have two parliaments. The drunkards can vote, the poor, after voting, choose 3, then send it to us. We shall choose the sober one. The sober one we choose, we declare. You wait for the white smoke.
Thank you so much. Andrew Irumba and of course Joseph Ochieno, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And of course to our viewer, thank you so much for tuning in. From the time we've started at 7 up to now, at just what, 3 minutes or 2 minutes to the top of the hour. This has been the Hotline Show, and my name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga, and it is on this note that I would like to inform the country that this is my last episode right here on Digitalk TV. It has been a tremendous couple of years down the road from where we started up to today. So thank you so much for tuning in, and this is my last episode. I'll see you again sometime, but somewhere different.
You have ended the show. You have ended the show badly.
Thank you for shocking us.
You have shocked.
For the record, we didn't know this, and
for the record, they did.
Very best wishes, young man.
Thank
wherever
you.
You go, and wherever you go.
So much. And of course, my viewer, thank you so much.
At the very time I was enjoying your hosting, now you're leaving.
Maybe I'll see you again. Let me finish my my last remarks. Thank you so much, Uganda. From where we started from up to today, the years I have been with you, I have learned a lot, and of course I continue to learn, but my journey with you will end today. So thank you so much. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. I'll see you again somewhere around your TV. See you soon. Good evening, Uganda.
Thank you.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.